crunch, bring it back, single leg swing. Let me teach you how to wrestle. Okay. Let me teach you how to wrestle.
Tadaaki Hatta, Coach, thank you for joining us again. So I was excited to have you on to talk about the Olympics. Japan was extremely dominant. I mean, 8 Olympic champs, and America had no champions, at least for the freestyle and the Greco. What were some of your thoughts watching the Olympics?
Oh, I'm kind of excited. I was going to go there.
Yeah.
My plan was go there, but I changed my mind and not going there, just to watch on the TV. Probably you get better, view from watching the TV. I don't know, but anyways, I was kind of surprised to see Japan, like Greco and freestyle. I think they didn't send a full team,
right?
Greco, I think, just sent, 2. I don't know if it's, correct me if I was wrong. 2 guys, 2 out of 2 is great. Then freestyle at 3 or 4, I think, right?
I don't know the exact number, but they did not have a full team. You're right.
Yeah, 2 gold and one silver, and I had 1 bronze. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
that's great. Yes.
Yeah, and obviously you've been a part of both, of course, American wrestling, Japanese wrestling. So that had to be. I mean, did you think that was surprising that the United States had no gold medals?
I'm kind of surprised. Not surprised, but I don't know if I should say disappointed. But
yeah.
Last Olympics, and Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah,
it was 3 years ago. I helped to have a training camp there in Japan, in Nakatsugawa City, which is about 6 hours bus ride from Tokyo.
Yeah.
Or the venue, I guess. But anyways, so I spent a lot of time with the American team because I was part of the staff as a interpreter / coach. So I spent, at that time was a COVID
right
period, so training camp became what do you call this, quarantine,
right,
like a 10 15 days period, so nobody can go out,
right,
well, nobody can come in those periods. But anyways, only place we can go is the training facility, which is a huge gym, and we had I can't remember how many mats there, but anyways, Greco-Roman and freestyle train together, and the girls also training together there twice a day. Only place they can go is the gymnasium and a hotel.
right.
And also they had a pathway behind the building, hotel building. There's a walk-in, a jogging area, but the police officers are standing there guarding, I guess, guarding us or guarding us from the other people. But anyways, so I saw how they train. And freestyle teams and the Greco teams comes in together, and the Greco teams always want to leave early.
Yeah.
Because I was making an announcement that the bus is leaving at certain times. Greco always left early, so that's why the Greco didn't have any
Yep.
medals there, I guess. And the freestyle's training, but mainly like Gable Dan, remember him?
Yeah, yeah.
Gable Dan Stevens. He's a pretty good basketball player. Because freestyle guys that play basketball there, part of the training session. But anyways, back to performance of a U.S. team. without any gold medal. I don't know, but maybe some. I guess they're getting older. Like a Dake was ranked #1, and also Snyder.
Right.
Didn't. I don't think he medaled. Right. He was like a
Right.
5th place.
Right.
Who else? Spencer Lee did a pretty good job, but this lost the Japanese guy. And but I think U.S. team was out scouted probably.
Yeah.
Obviously, different countries, they scout a lot, so they wrestle according to your opponent's, I should say, tendency. Because when I was on the staff before for USA team, we used to scout a lot. In those days, there's no DVDs or no, telephone. You can watch now. You can watch film or videos. For those days, huge cassette.
VHS.
VHS. But anyways, we used to watch a lot of films together. Bobby Douglas was excellent, analyzing the opponents. So I don't know, maybe coaching staff or not coaching. And also one thing that is they bring their own personal coach. I don't know if that was good or bad or not, but each wrestler's bring a personal coach.
In the United States?
Yes. So, personal coach can help a lot, but however, I don't know if they have communicating with head coach or assistant coaches there for scouting purpose. I don't know. I'm just guessing it because I wasn't there.
Right. And I guess would you say that's very important that the head coach of the team and the personal coach are communicating to discuss the training, the scouting, all of it?
Yeah. I don't know. If they have done that before, fine. If they have done that, I think they should do more of that.
Okay. Is it not like that in Japan? Do they have one coach for the team?
In Japan, they have a head coach or whatever you call it, the head of the staff. Then you have assistant coaches for each style, like Greco-Roman, freestyle, and women's. Then they have an assistant coach do that. But they don't have like a 10 coach to the team, but maybe 2 or 3 different coaches.
Okay.
For
Now, did it seem like when you were with the team in 2020, did it seem like America was trending up, or Japan was trending up, or did one seem like they were going up, the other down, or you couldn't really tell any kind of a difference? Like, did it seem like Japan was on the way up? Or?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. One time Japan was going down. I think it's like a 90s, 96, 97 or whatever, around 2000 maybe.
Okay.
But the women's team is always good.
Right.
So that probably helped, to the men's team to do better.
Yeah. Why do you think they were trending up? Was it the way they were training, the way they were wrestling? Did the coaching get better? Did they get more resources?
I'm not sure because I'm not there.
Right.
And personally, I don't know those guys. Indirectly, I know some of them through different coaches.
Right.
So I don't know. But besides that, there's one wrestler who's now at Oklahoma State. new recruit. I don't know if you know him. He's there right now. I helped him to come to Oklahoma State, and I met him a couple of years ago, and he was still in high school. He wanted to go to someplace in the U.S., so I said, go to Oklahoma State. And I think he was looking at the Penn State before.
Oh, wow. Nice.
But I told the coaches from Penn State, I said, you guys don't need him. Okay. Oklahoma State need him more, because he already, at that time, he was still in high school, was a national senior champion.
Wow.
Okay.
I have the name. Is it Rin Sakamoto?
Yes, that's him.
I just looked it up on the computer. Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
So he's a junior world champion.
He went to U20.
Oh, okay.
He didn't place.
Okay.
But he won the national Japanese national title as I think he was either junior or a senior. I can't remember. He was beating all these guys. Then he was on the final trial for the Japan national team for the senior world, but he didn't make it. He was in a wrestle off against I don't remember the name of the guy, but he's there now. Yeah.
Nice.
Also, the Oklahoma State has the I don't know if you heard of Bravo. What's his first name? I can't remember the name.
Roman Bravo Young. He's going there now.
He's there. He's there as
assistant.
The regional training center.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's going to still compete there, but his training partner that he got from back there in Penn State when he was still training for the Olympics. I think he made the team for Mexican team.
Yeah, Mexico.
Right? So his training partner is from Japan. Okay. And he's like a number 2, number 3 from Japan.
Wow.
So this Japanese guy is coming to Stillwater at the regional training center.
Hey, David Taylor's got to be giving you some kind of kickback for that. You should be getting some bucks.
Yeah, I was there in July, I think.
Yeah.
July. Yeah, I went to the room, practice room. I talked to him. I talked to all the coaches, Kennedy,
right,
and the other guy, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
Right.
Gilman. Yeah. I talked to him, and I'm gonna go there in October or sometime. I'll visit.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Are you gonna send some more Japanese wrestlers over there? They should be asking you for that.
Yeah, I think one starts there, and I think some other Japanese guys probably end up in there.
Nice. Nice. Just like the old days, right? When you were over there with your brother and who else? Yutaki.
Yeah, he was the same time as I was there. And then a couple other guys followed. But I think the only problem is the now you have to pass the English test to be able to go there.
So and they don't know English.
They know some, but you have to pass this test.
Right.
So many points or whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, you can't get in there.
Yeah. No, makes sense. Now for the Olympics, when Dake wrestled Takatani, I've never seen anyone. I don't think any of us have seen Dake get beat that bad, other than by Jordan Burroughs getting hit with like a leg lace over and over, but not repetitive shots. Do you think that was more related to? Was that more scouting? Was it style? I mean, what are your thoughts?
I think it's scouting. You know, Dakes tend to do that, whatever you call it,
The body lock.
Counterattack. You know, that throw or whatever. And I think the Japanese coaches probably found a way to stop that move. Mm-hmm. You know, if you just push, you get in that situation, and if you just push, then you get thrown over.
Right.
And I think you just create a little bit of an angle.
Yeah.
And control the foot, ankle, and that will stop that throws.
Yeah, the angle.
Yeah, angle, and also the position of the shoulder.
Right.
You know, shoulder against the leg, behind the calf, or whatever the position is.
Right. I mean, we haven't seen, other than Sidakov from Russia, we haven't seen anyone from America really be able to stop that when Dake does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, even I don't remember, even Jordan Burroughs, I think every time he had Burroughs like that, he took him over also.
Right.
So it's just strange that none of the American coaches scouted that to the same extent. I don't know.
I don't know, because I haven't been there, I haven't talked to them, so I don't know. I'm just guessing it.
Yeah, right. And then Spencer Lee, he losing to Higuchi. I mean, he wrestled great too. He looked awesome in the semifinals match also. Both of them look great in their semifinals match.
Right.
So, I thought they wrestled really well. I know a lot of people are curious about, and maybe you'd have some idea with this in terms of do they have any kind of different philosophies and the way they approach wrestling, or maybe their developmental program? I know a lot of Americans are just real interested in that, and I thought, who else can I bring in that might have any idea? So what do you know?
You know what? When I was still there training, mm-hmm. Like a practice room, okay, you have mats, whatever, we feel like it's a sacred place. Mm-hmm. And, you bow, before you step on the mat, you bow out. You do that same with the judo, bow in, bow out, and also other sports or other, martial arts. Like I did judo before wrestling, and then also kendo after wrestling.
Okay.
So you learn the, what do you call it? It's the protocol, or whatever you call it.
Etiquette, etiquette, respect. Yeah.
Yeah. So you respect the mat. You respect the areas, whatever the training facility is. So you respect. I think that carries on to a training part.
Okay. And that's very different than America. You don't see that at all.
Right. You don't see it. You don't. I don't know. Some. Maybe you have to talk to some wrestlers. You feel the place is sacred. If it's not, that's fine. So I think that's one of the approach the Japanese wrestlers take.
Yeah, and when I did an interview with your son, with Ben and Yoshi Nakamura, who's going to be inducted into the Penn Wrestling Hall of Fame next month. We're going to be going to that.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, so we're going to go over there. But they were saying that one thing that for them, judo helped them when they were younger. Ben and Yoshi said that it's not like wrestling where people are running around all over the place. There's much more respect and discipline, and the kids are paying attention to the instructor instead of maybe moving eyes looking around. They have their undivided attention.
Yes.
that's a big difference, because I would think, I don't know, you would just think with America being so big and having so many people from all over the world, you would think America would be dominating most countries, but it's not the case. Like Japan being much smaller, right? It's like, but maybe, like I said, that's why maybe some of their philosophies and what they're doing, it might be, they might be doing things more efficiently in some ways than America. I don't know. That's why, I was curious.
Many, many years ago when, I don't know if you remember AAU in his federation, U.S. Federation.
Yep.
Okay. Who's going to be in charge of, wrestling, freestyle, or Greco-Roman. In those days, I suggested to the federation people switch the wrestling from college wrestling to freestyle.
Yep.
Okay, this is like almost 60 years ago when I mentioned that to him. It didn't happen, right? And it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Right.
But women's wrestling in the college is freestyle.
Good point.
Okay, it's already there. All right, so they have to, high school girls have to make a adjustment, which is not that hard. I made an adjustment from freestyle to college wrestling.
Right.
If you know both, that will help a lot.
Right.
So I don't know about, switching freestyle from college wrestling. That may help more. I don't know, but all those guys have to make adjustment from college wrestling to freestyle or Greco.
Right. I almost feel like one of the things that I feel like with just watching the Olympics, I feel like other countries are peaking for the Olympics. They're really gearing their training the 4 years towards the Olympics. I'm not saying that America is not doing that, because they are, but it's almost like I want to win everything. Like every year it seems like they're it's not peaking in the same way. They're more focused, because look at, even in college, we have a lot of college guys who are very good, but they want to win an NCAA championship, and a lot of times in that process, they're hurting themselves, they're hurting their body, because the season is a big grind. And also they're going scholastic, folk style wrestling instead of freestyle. It seems like maybe our younger guys are not optimizing like other countries. Do you get that sense?
I think, like from high school wrestlers, the goal is to win the state championships.
Right.
So once that happens, then you have a Fargo tournament during the summer, which is very good. I think it's probably the biggest tournaments in the world at that level, or even all the levels. How many kids show up in 50 states,
right,
wrestling there in one place.
Mm-hmm.
So also those guys have to make adjustment from high school wrestling to freestyle or Greco.
Right.
So I don't know. You got if you know both, which is great. If you know college wrestling and wrestling freestyle, if you know Greco-Roman wrestling and then wrestling in the college wrestling, that help one against each another. And if you know judo, that'll help some more.
Do you think most of the Japanese wrestlers know judo also, or is it maybe some of them know but not all of them?
In the past, my time or maybe before, some of the wrestlers never wrestled until they got to the college level,
right?
And they were judo guys beforehand. Some of them are sumo guys wrestling in the college, starting in college. So I was a judo before my high school, and I never wrestled until my high school year.
Right.
So anything that any sports can help. Some like a yojo.
The time is now to take your mindset to the next level with Wrestling Mindset. Make sure you go to our website, wrestlingmindset.com, and sign up for your free trial session today. Don't wait any longer. You want the mental edge right now. When you sign up for the free trial session, you're also going to get a copy of our free ebook, Building the Predator Mindset. This book has helped thousands of people build confidence, relax under pressure, get motivated, and build mental toughness in wrestling, school, and life. Make sure you sign up for your free trial session today.
Watake he was a tennis player.
Yeah.
Before he wrestled.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So,
Like, yeah, different sports will help if you're serious about those sports.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I wonder how much of the influence, because with your father working directly under Jigoro Kano, having that influence the philosophy of judo of efficiency, right? Not using not using more effort than you need to. I mean, of course, using full effort, but placing it properly rather than just wasted effort. I feel like that might be another kind of, not difference, but a little bit of a difference. Like in America, it's more like I have to work harder than everyone. I need to put more time in than my opponent. This kind of like the Dan Gable philosophy, put more time in than your opponent, which is great, but like not as much of a focus on efficiency. Do you feel that way? I get that sense.
You know what I do? When I teach, I still teach wrestling in different clinics and whatever camps. I use kendo as a part of my teaching for the footwork.
Okay.
Then I use Aikido to show them how to control the wrist. If somebody grab your wrist, then all you have to do is use part of the Aikido move to minimize your opponent's attack on the wrist control, things like that. Then I use other things that you can use or see every day. Like a walking.
Yeah.
If you want to go faster, what do? Running. Okay. So I use that, very simple, everyday things that you do without thinking into wrestling. And I asked a question like all the campers and people come to clinic, they say, what is wrestling? Okay.
Good question.
So what is wrestling? Okay. So you'll answer maybe you say it's a sports, tough sports, do this, do that. Okay. My answer is very simple. Wrestling is a fight with the rules. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have a UFC, MMA. What is MMA? Fight with
rules.
The rules, different rules.
Right.
Okay, then what is kendo? It's a sword fighting with the rules. Fencing, fight with the rules. Right. So, I asked a question like that. Okay, so if you have that mindset, you go on the mat, you're going to fight your opponent. Only guy, one guy or girl, whatever.
Right.
Whoever, okay? So it's one-on-one, one against one or the other. Okay, then all the training part. Okay, that training part is like an ammunition, like it's your force.
Right.
Okay, then your body becomes a weapon. Okay, against another wrestler, and he or she will do the same thing against you.
Right.
So you attack or defend, whatever the situation calls for. I'll say, go attack. Then the opponent attacks you, then you counterattack.
Right.
So my philosophy is very simple. You see, you go fight. It's a fight with the rules. Okay, if you don't want to fight, just stay home.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know?
It's a great mentality, and then because a lot of times people they're thinking maybe too technical. Like, I have to put my hand here, and I make sure, which is all true, but you have to have that fight in you where it can't just be, oh, I'm going to grab your wrist. No, you got to grab the guy. You got to get him.
Yeah, exactly. It's techniques, whatever you learn, high crotch, single leg, double leg, whatever. That's part of your ammunition, and your body becomes a weapon. So you have to train to learn all that techniques or whatever strategy. Then the strategy or tactics will play a huge role in that fight.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're incorporating things also from different martial arts. It seems like Japan tends to view wrestling more as a martial art, like one of the martial arts. Whereas I don't know in America, if you asked Americans, is wrestling a martial art? I'm not so sure they would say yes.
I don't either.
No?
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask next time I see some.
Yeah. But we got to take a poll. But you would say it is a martial art, right? Because it's a fight.
You talking about wrestling?
Yeah, wrestling.
Yeah, I think Japanese people probably take it as a martial art. Yes, because if you go MMA, what is MMA?
It's wrestling.
Mixed martial art, is that right?
Right.
Okay, so MMA is martial art, and a lot of wrestling people will go into MMA
And do well.
or UFC and do great jobs because of wrestling background.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I think that more people would probably call wrestling a martial art because of UFC and MMA. But I bet you before UFC got real big in mixed martial arts, I bet you a lot less people would call wrestling a martial art in America.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't wear gi.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. With the gi, you have a lot on, and with the singlet, you have nothing on.
right.
So that all right. So I think about that, and then I think just the mentality, like you said, about it's a fight. I remember looking on YouTube and looking at Dagestan wrestlers from Russia, and it would say fighters. They call the wrestlers fighters.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And now you're calling that wrestling a legal fight, whereas I don't think in America it's that mentality of a fight. Now, of course, it's a sport. It's a sport in Dagestan. It's a sport in Japan. It's a sport in America. But I don't think most people are looking at wrestling as not as a martial art and not as a fight. And it sounds like what I'm hearing from you, like Japan, if this is indicative of how Japanese think in terms of it's a fight and it is a martial art. Does that sound right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Next time I see somebody from Japan, yeah.
Hey, do I have this right? Am I speaking on behalf of billions of people? I got the 2 books that you told me to get. I got this one.
Oh yeah. That's good.
And I got this one.
Yeah.
And of course I have that one from you.
Yeah.
Look at all the tabs.
You got a bookmark. Tabs.
Oh yeah, and it's all, and I have highlighting. No, but it's good. You know, like when I look at it, when I read it, it's much more scientific and biomechanics. I know we spoke about this last time, but I like how it has the science behind it, the biomechanics. I think that's also different than the way a lot of people are approaching wrestling. Like one of the books talking about movement, just moving. You have to be able to control your center of gravity. Your book was saying that controlling your center of gravity and then overtaking your opponent's center of gravity, controlling it, moving it, right?
Yes. And also, when I teach wrestling, I ask them, so how many football players are here? Yeah. And, like football guys, running back, you're changing directions.
Yeah.
Or head fake or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Okay. All you have to do is skip one, like a running or walking, you skip one step. That's what they do without thinking. You know what I mean? So I like to have them think consciously. You make one step forward to make sure you have following step.
Right.
Movement. Could be sideways, could be in an angle, could be in the backwards. So your feet are moving constantly.
Right.
And if you don't want to move constantly, you can just shift the weight from one foot to the other.
Right. You're saying having the 1 foot forward, you're saying?
No. Not always forward. Just 1 foot. If you make 1 foot move, make sure you move the other foot.
That's right. Okay.
So I tell them to watch the tennis players when they're receiving a service.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not chopping feet, but they're shifting weight from one foot to the other.
Right.
Okay, the reason is if you do that, so that person, the tennis player, can move the direction where she or he wants to go.
Right.
So you do that in wrestling. You want to go a certain direction, a certain place. You have to be able to move your feet.
Right.
So you can move from one location to another location.
Right. As basic as that is, it's so important. And a lot of people don't do it. Even high-level wrestlers don't do it.
Right. A lot of wrestlers doing that without knowing what they're doing.
That's right. But you want to be aware of it, so you know to continue to do it. But yeah, a lot of people just do it naturally, just from practice and experience.
Yeah. Right.
But
yes.
but then again, when we watch, so like I think about Kyle Dake when he wrestled Jordan Burroughs to beat him, he was moving his feet constantly. And then when he wrestled against Takatani, he was back on his heels. He was flat-footed. He was almost waiting for him to come in.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, when in Japan, so I know your father started the first Japanese Wrestling Association. I know I have my friend Don Ernst, who passed away. He put your father in the book there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is my friend Don's book. So Don Ernst, you remember him? Well,
yeah.
So your father founded the first Japanese association or the first college with wrestling. Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, what happened was he was in judo, and his university, Waseda University, a team came to U.S. to promote judo. I don't know who told him to go, but 5 or 6 judo guys came here in 1929, and I think 1929, I think they rent a car and drove from West Coast to East Coast. And they stopped at different cities.
Yep.
And the judo demonstration at, I think, a university, I don't know what college or university they stopped. but they stopped different cities and universities in a demonstration of judo. Then they had a judo match against the American wrestlers. Then they had a wrestling match against American wrestlers. Then they had a free-for-all, like a grappling contest after that. So they had three matches, three different types of matches. And the Japanese won, obviously, judo, right? Then the wrestling American won against the Japanese. Then free for all, like a grappling part, American won.
Okay.
So, one guy had to spend 10 days in the hospital because I don't know what they did, cradle him up or something and hurt him.
Yeah.
So my father said he has to learn wrestling. So after the trip, he went back home and he made a wrestling team out of those guys who was on the judo team.
Right.
Okay, that was the beginning of wrestling in Japan. In the Waseda University, I think it's probably around 1930.
Right.
Then he talked to another university, Keio University, to start wrestling also. So Waseda is the first university wrestling team. Then Keio is the second wrestling team in Japan. It started out, then other universities followed them.
Okay, so it started with two universities, college level university, and then how did it? And then so that was you said like around the 1930s.
Correct.
So how did the guys develop? Like, well, first of all, yourself, your brother, Yutaki, Shozo Sasahara. Did those guys come from? Did they come from the same school or different schools, or did more schools develop after a while?
Okay, after that, universities, different colleges start wrestling teams there. Okay, then they made college championships or whatever tournaments.
Right.
Then he went down to high school level, and he then went to junior high level.
Right.
And then he went down to little kids level.
Okay.
Okay, it took so many years. Okay, Dr. Kano, my father was he's a bag carrier. Okay, you call it secretary, but he was like a what do you call it? Gopher guy. What do you call those things?
A caddy. Like in golf, a caddy.
Yeah, but so he, I don't know, he's apprentice or whatever you call it. Okay. So he knew my father when he started wrestling.
Right.
Okay. And then he told me, so it'll take 50 years to start something new. Okay, so let's say the 1932 Olympics.
Right.
Well, those guys who did judo and they came to U.S. to learn wrestling, they were on the Japanese Olympic team for 1932 Olympics in L.A.
Yeah. Okay.
All those guys were 2 and out.
They just started.
They wrestled twice. Like, I don't know what the system they were using.
Right.
Okay. And but we found this the 1932 newspaper. Somebody made a book out of the newspaper whole year. In the Olympic, there's Olympic pages in there, and my father's name's on it. Lost to somebody, like then there's other people from U.S. team, like a Bobby Pierce, Olympic champion. His name's on that same page. But anyways, so Dr. Kano says it takes 50 years, right? So 1932, then Japan had a first gold medal in 1952. Okay.
Who was that?
Shohachi Ishii.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. He won gold, and another guy took silver, Kitano.
Okay.
Okay. But anyways, he took Japan from 1932 to 1952, which is what?
20
years?
Yeah.
20 years. 20 years. Then the 56 and 2 gold medals, 1 silver. Okay, 56. 60 was bad, 1 silver. 64 Tokyo Olympics, 5 gold medals, and 1 bronze.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, Japanese wrestling is like it's still, you know, like here in high school level, you fill the gymnasium, right? I don't know how many spectators, 5,000, maybe 10,000 or whatever. In a college wrestling, you fill the huge arena. Over there, you don't see that.
No.
It's not a popular as a spectator sports.
Right. But I remember even Don Ernst telling me, because he was the video technician for the USA from 1975 to 1979, the World Championships, the Olympics, and he always spoke about Kudo, Takada, Tamiyama, Sugawara, Date. He always said the Japanese. He said he had to film the Americans, but then when they got out, he would film the Russians and the Japanese. So he always had a great respect for the Japanese wrestlers, and like you said, they were able to catch up in a very short period of time.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
And I guess the question then becomes, why are they doing something different at the youth level? And then obviously now we're in a different period of time because now you have the internet. So now anyone could watch anything on YouTube or Instagram. Right. People could learn technique quickly from all over the place. But still, is their system different at the youth level? Do they compete as young as we do? Do they teach them more technique? Is it more live wrestling? Anything like that? I know you're not there, but just any insights you might have. Anyone you spoke to?
I watch Facebook and things like that now.
Yeah.
And all this club, kids club or whatever, they put, videos of kids wrestling or kids doing some exercises.
Yeah.
It's some of the stuff that they do. It's coming from here. Running around and jumping over your body, go under your legs or whatever, those things.
Yeah.
They do that. I think it's mainly for physical fitness part.
Right.
Then also they teach them techniques. Little kids, doing double leg or whatever. I see 4 years old doing the double leg, and so technically, I guess they practice repeatedly, repetition, until you learn the techniques correctly, and so. I don't know what's missing from here in this country, but I don't know.
Well, I feel like a lot of the young kids, like even 7 years old, they know a lot of moves. I don't know how much can they have mastered one move at 7 years old, but they know a lot, And I think the parents want. I think the parents want to see, hey, my kid knows what to do here and there and everything. But again, that's not the same as mastery, right? I think the mentality, like I was saying before, in America is, I want my son to be a kid champion, a middle school champion, a high school champion, NCAAs, and Olympics. And so you're always thinking about winning and the next tournament instead of athlete development. That's my sense.
Maybe, I don't know, in this country, put winning, emphasize on winning too much. I don't know.
Yeah.
But over there, probably say, have a good time. I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah,
I've done that. I've done the clinics things in Japan also.
Right.
So I've done different cities, different schools, different kids. A few years. I told a friend of mine there one time, I don't know how many years, maybe almost 10 years ago, said, I want to do some wrestling clinics in Japan before I die. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
So he said, okay. So he put up some different places. Friends, I have friends there coaching, so I made a connection there, and I did like a tours, like I stop over here, do the clinic, next city, the clinic here and there. It was a very good experience in doing that. I can still do that when I go back there.
Yeah, well, they would really benefit from having you over there. Also, I think about any time you're in the New York, New Jersey area, you got to let me know if you ever visit, because we'd love to have you do a clinic over here.
Okay. I'll be there in the New York City, New York AC tournament in November.
In November, okay. Yeah. All right, maybe.
November, I think the 7th or 8th, that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's called Bill Farrell's International Memorial Tournament. Yeah.
All right.
I'll be there.
All right. We'll have to talk before then, because maybe we can make something happen.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm sure I'll have more questions from you. I'll write to you. I'll email you.
All right.
Thank you, Coach. Have a good day.
Yeah, you're welcome. You too.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.